Now, few comedians can boast a career quite like our guest tonight, West Londoner Omid Djalili.
My name is Omid. I'm a British Iranian, and Omid is a very... Oh, we've got some Iranians here. Most of my extended family that follow me everywhere. That's just wonderful. It's a very powerful name. Omid in Iran means hope. It's a shame that Djalili means less. That's a bit of a problem with that name.
That's one of my first ever gags. Oh my
It
God.
was so funny because you actually laughed at yourself.
I laughed at myself. I just think I'm so funny. Especially if you do that set in the mirror naked in one black sock, it's brilliant.
Is it? Is that one of your favourite moments every morning?
Yes, it's a morning routine I have.
Now, I mean, that's just a snapshot of what has been an absolutely impressive career thus far. And I know that you're on tour at the moment. But when you were growing up in Chelsea, did you ever think that you'd reach these dizzy heights in your career?
I didn't, but when you're raised in Chelsea, well, Kensington and Chelsea, it's the poshest borough. And we're so posh, we actually have a Kentucky Fried Pheasant, which is the poshest one. But the thing is, you get to see people, all those celebrities that you saw on TV were usually shopping on High Street. Ken, I remember seeing Dustin Hoffman walking down the street with Barbara Streisand, and they were both really small. I remember going, watch her, and they went, hello, like that. So you could just say hello to people, and they just used to say hello back.
Yeah.
Remember Prince Charles being in a convertible car stuck in traffic, and everyone was going, one Charlie Windsor, there's only one Charlie, and he'd like go like that. So it was the whole thing of being with famous people was not too far away from me.
No, and I think it's very London, isn't it? You just like have random celebrities that you come across every day.
Yes.
Now, as I mentioned, you are on tour at the moment with Namaste.
Thank you.
We are going to talk about your New Year's Eve show that you're going to be doing at Cadogan Hall in just a second. But one of the things that's so wonderful about your comedy is you don't shy away from your cultural heritage, and you sort of use your knowledge to educate audiences. No more so is that needed than at the moment with events that have happened in Syria. How important is it for you to use your platform as a comedian to educate those audiences that come to see you?
Yeah, the best thing, I think, is to take on this latest show, which I'm on tour with, is taking in all the current discourses. So I'll be talking about Syria, I'll be talking about Iran, I'll talk about Gaza. These are all things to try and make palatable all the senseless things that we're seeing. Most people are like, la, 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 about the Middle East. But if you use comedy, it's a pill they can swallow easily. But also the best thing is that when you do these shows, like I was in America, I was in Seattle, and they'd never heard of me, and they were like, so who is this guy? And then, but after the show, the same people who were kind of like being very dismissive all asked for selfies. I said, why are you asking for a selfie? He goes, I watched the show, I laughed, and I learned. And I think that's the best thing as a comic. If you can make people laugh while they learn, there's nothing better than that.
Do you think that's changed in the 29 years that you've been performing since you first did Edinburgh Fringe? Do you think that's changed in terms of what you now choose to talk about in your sets?
I think so, yeah. I think I feel like there's a moral obligation to be a kind of Middle Eastern standard bearer and try and make things understandable to... It's a mostly white British audience that come and see me, and they're kind of looking for answers, and they don't mind it if you go off-piste a bit and like speak seriously about a few things. They want that, and the way people have been sending me feedback after the show has been nothing short of extraordinary, because they really want answers. They've come for answers, and they've come for comedy, and hopefully they get both.
Yeah, I do think it's a really wonderful place to educate audiences is through comedy. What sort of comedy are people going to get at Cadogan Hall on New Year's Eve?
Cadogan Hall is going to be different. That's three of us doing club sets. That's me. Do you know Chris McCausland, who's just...
Do you mean Strictly's, Chris?
Strictly's. I never thought I'd ever call him. It's a comic I've known to be blind all his career, and suddenly he's busting out moves. And he's... it's very much the bald leading the blind at this show. But he's brilliant. He's such a good dancer. He hasn't given away too much of his secrets. I mean, look at that.
He's incredible.
I think on the New Year's Eve show, he's going to give away... He's got some jokes about some of the things. I mean, look at those moves.
Is he going to perform on New Year's Eve?
He's going to be with me. I'm not sure he'll do it. He'll do a little dance move, possibly, but if he doesn't, certainly Hal Cruttenden will. Hal Cruttenden is another one of the top acts on the circuit. So it's basically a fun night to go. It starts at 7, finishes at just before 9. A bit of a laugh before you go out.
So you'll be able to go home before you celebrate New Year's Eve?
We'll go and see the show and then go out and celebrate New Year's Eve. That's the whole point.
That's brilliant. And then what do you think you'll do to celebrate at 12 o'clock? Will the three of you be together?
We will.
In an empty Cadogan Hall and everyone's gone home?
We'll be doing selfies with each other, and probably Chris will teach us how to dance.
Well, that'd be brilliant. Do you know what? It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you, and also just to have a Londoner that's doing great things.
Thank you so much.
And we're a city that's very proud of you. Omid, thank you very much.
Thank you, Charlene.